Hello, my dears. Welcome back. Oh boy, baby. There's been a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So, I pray tonight that this video will find who it needs to find. I pray that it will bring you some peace. I pray that it will reach who it needs to reach. Because there is some intense healing energy in the universe right now. We are walking through the Scorpio new moon at the moment. I just cut and dyed my own hair. And we're gonna let that puppy flow. Yeah, there's a lot of energy around like accountability. So I just wanted to make something very clear about this video that I let out not too long ago about the avoidant and like an avoidant leaving your life or you saying goodbye to an avoidant. I want to be very clear about something, that I am not, and I think I made this pretty clear, but just in case I didn't, I want to be very clear that I am not demonizing avoidantly attached people. I think there's a lot of discourse on the internet demonizing avoidantly attached people and anxiously attached people. But I think it's really easy for us to sometimes demonize avoidantly attached people because their actions cause, and like the dynamic of an avoidantly attached person that comes, and this takes a lot of self-awareness to understand that the pain caused by the dynamics that we get into with avoidantly attached people really have very little to do with the avoidantly attached person. First of all, nobody has developed an insecure attachment style to fuck with other people. Nobody has developed an insecure attachment style on purpose. This is all manifestations of childhood trauma. And of course, nobody is sitting here going, I think I'm gonna make somebody fall in love with me and then fuck with them. And if they are, that's a whole other type of ball game that I don't even feel like talking about. So avoidantly attached people are hurting in their own ways. And I want to bring to light the fact that I've observed in my own experiences that the pain that avoidantly attached folks bring out in us really has very little to do with that person. Like, of course, there's two levels, right? There's the surface level of like, oh my God, I've fallen in love with this beautiful person. They're incredible. We have a beautiful, magical connection with each other, and that connection has ended. That sucks. But the other level is deeper than that, and it's like this person's behavior probably attracted me in the first place because they remind me of my primary caregivers, and I want to close the loop with my primary caregivers and finally prove that I am worthy of love to my dad and mom by making this person who reminds me of them love me, so I can say to my inner child finally, or so my inner child can finally say, see, I was always worthy of love. See, mom, see, dad, I was always worthy of love. Or like, see, little Jordan, I was always worthy of love. And the pain that gets triggered up in these situations is so excruciating because it once again reminds us that our primary caregivers did not give us what we needed. So that's that on that, because my two most recent videos have touched on these kind of dynamics, so I just wanted to be very clear about those things. So let's see what's going on right now. As we are speaking, we're talking on the Scorpio new moon. And of course, whenever you find this video is when it's for you. Whoa. Interesting. So the Scorpio new moon, and whenever you find this, is going to be a time of death and rebirth. So that is massive transformation. You're probably noticing that there are one or more areas of your life right now where you are releasing old stories. Releasing old stories has been a huge theme for me in my healing journey in the last couple of weeks. I'm doing EMDR with my therapist, which has been incredibly powerful. I highly recommend it for anyone who has trauma. Releasing old stories. So some stories that were implanted in me from a very early age are, I am unworthy, I am unlovable, I am not wanted around. Just to name a few, which obviously I realize are not true. But heartbreakingly, these stories that were implanted in me from a young age have played out over and over and over and over again, because tragically, when we grow up in certain dynamics, we tend to, as I've mentioned previously, attract people over and over again that remind us subconsciously of our primary caregivers, right? So we're releasing old stories. We are first becoming aware of the stories. The hair is hairing. I dyed it, I bleached it, I toned it, and I cut it all by myself. And I did a pretty dang good job. What was I gonna say? So we have to become aware of the stories that we're telling ourselves. We have to become aware of our subconscious beliefs in order to let them die. Scorpio season is all about death and rebirth. We're dying to the old self. We're rebirthing. Fall and winter seasons are the feminine energy seasons where we go within, we allow parts of ourselves to die, we come back to life in masculine energy seasons of spring and summer. So in order to, come back to life in masculine energy season in our best and highest possible way, we need to really get honest with ourselves about where we've been holding ourselves back. Somebody put a comment on my "So You Just Said Goodbye to That Avoidant" video that I didn't take seriously, but I ran through my initial impression of it because I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing any of these things. But I didn't take it very seriously because the accusations made in this comment weren't true, but I think there's a reason that it's coming out of my mouth right now, probably. Somebody might need to hear this. They said, women love, and it was a woman too, women love to play the victim, and we don't look at our crimes against the avoidant. Okay. These are things that I made sure I wasn't doing. But I think it's worth mentioning to be accountable and hold ourselves accountable for how we are perpetuating certain things in our lives. And that's not to lash ourselves on the back, to call ourselves a terrible person or whatever have you. This is the kind of stuff that takes radical self-compassion and real down and dirty conscious awareness, and done with all compassion and kindness, of course. But we need to be very aware of how our own wounding is perpetuating certain cycles in our lives and why we were an energetic vibrational match to the avoidant to begin with. So this is the type of work that we're doing at the Scorpio new moon. So interestingly enough, the first 3 cards that came out are the Ace of Wands reversed, Judgment reversed, and the Ace of Swords reversed. So we have 2 reversed aces and we have Judgment reversed. Literally just what I was saying, that we are bringing the focus inward and bringing the judgment with kindness and compassion and ultimate self-love within, so that we can have new beginnings spiritually and in our minds, in our mindset. And this is really important work. And I pray that you have a beautiful, supportive, loving community around you, friends around you. You can gather in the comments. We are building community right here of people who are healing and out here in this healing journey and being very self-aware and very self-loving. Because having that accountability is so empowering. It prevents these cycles from continuing. When we can say, oh, this is why I've attracted this certain type of guy, this is why I've attracted this certain type of woman over and over again. We can really be honest with ourselves about, I really still have a lot of work to do in my attachment style. I still really have a lot of work to do in my healthy daily rituals. I still have a lot of work to do with my childhood trauma and my teenage years and the things that have happened to me that okay. I'm just going to say this disclaimer once and for all for the rest of this, because I don't need to keep repeating this. We are doing this all with ultimate self-love and compassion and kindness and softness and gentleness. Okay? That goes for the rest of what I'm about to say. We will continue to attract the same type of situations, the same type of karmic cycles, the same type of folks over and over again in different bodies. Would you like to know how hilarious the universe is with me? How much of a sense of humor God has with me? The last 4 men that I've fallen in love with were Cancer men with J names. If that ain't a physical manifestation of the same lesson will be given to you over and over again until you learn it. So, how do I suck the air out of the room? How do I perhaps do things that repel people? How do I perhaps damage love connections with my own wounding, right? I read for a collective of people who is accountable for themselves. I read for a collective of people who always look for their part in every situation. Because I have a feeling that we're talking about love situations here, but every situation that we get involved to with other people, there's at least two people involved. You are the common denominator in every situation in your life. Romance, work, friendships, your life purpose. Like, you are the common denominator. So please take the time, do the work necessary, sit with yourself, meditation, psychedelic work, EMDR, therapy, whatever it is for you. Do that work to understand and take note of the patterns that have been present in your life. So that these aces can flip upright and you can enjoy these new beginnings. How exciting. Like, get excited about that a little bit, because this work that we're doing, this grueling kind of really heavy shadow work, yes, it can be very scary, and it can be very not sexy all the time to see how our own wounding has perpetuated certain cycles in our life. But the fun and sexy part is that you are now becoming an energetic vibrational match to the things you actually want, to the type of people that you actually want to attract. Developing a secure attachment style within yourself attracts a person with a secure attachment style. Releasing and healing your abundance blocks attracts abundance. You know, being a good friend attracts good friend. Taking care of your body, taking care of your health, taking care of your spiritual health attracts folks who are also doing the same. And, you know, securely attached people are not immune to attracting insecurely attached people, but securely attached people recognize the behavior pretty early on and do something about it with love and kindness and compassion. They say, "Hey bud, I noticed that you're driving me nuts and hurting me, so all the love and blessings to you, but please stop talking to me." Like, how can you provide, and this is me talking from the perspective of a recovering addict and a recovering love addict and recovering hungry ghost who just, you know, was a gaping hole in my soul the size of God was formed in my soul at some point in my life, that I sought to fill with men and drugs and alcohol and nicotine and sex and everything. How can we, because I am very much in these streets with you, how can we start to provide our own dopamine when we're looking for it from a man? How can we start to provide our own fulfillment when we're looking for it from a man? Because as I've probably said in my last two videos, one or both, if I'm being honest with myself and with you, somewhere deep down, my inner child still believes that a man is going to come into my life and save me and heal me, which is patently untrue. I don't need that. And with all the love and kindness and compassion and gentleness, I say, that is going to destroy any love connection that comes along. Because that is going to put monumental pressure on the other person to be the parent that I never had. And that should not be the basis for any kind of romantic relationship ever. We are out here. Oh my God. So like, woo, honey, this is like the work. This is the result of the work, these realizations. And yeah, just give yourself credit, man. Like, give yourself credit for the tough inner work that you have done to this point. I know you're tired. I know you've been working on yourself for years. I know it's hard to keep peeling back that onion and saying, okay, now I got the home, now I got the little job, now I got some sobriety under me, now I got some health and healing under me. God, why do I have to keep doing this? Why can't it just be easy? Now, I know, I hear you, I'm right there with you. Believe me. But this is a never-ending journey that we have stepped onto. And if you look back at your life, if you look back at your healing journey back through the years, you will certainly see many instances of how much healthier you are now. And how much more securely attached you are now. How much more grounded you are. How much healthier relationships you have, etc., etc. But the rewards are coming, hun. They are. You could probably, chances are, if you're watching this on a phone or a computer or such, chances are you got a lot of things to be grateful for. Cultivate your gratitude practice, because that, we're talking about energy, we're talking about frequency, attracting frequency. So like the frequency of gratitude is one of the highest frequencies available to us. And when we are grateful for the things that we have, we attract more things to be grateful for. Cultivate affirmation practices. I am worthy of love. I am worthy. I am securely attached. I am in love with my life. I am romanticizing my life every day. I am full. I am whole. I am healed. I am healthy. I am lovable. I am loved. I am strong. So, to get back to these cards real quick, to wrap up, it's like, it never ceases to amaze me what God brings us in these cards. So like, Ace of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, Judgment reversed. Literally, you are on the precipice of everything that you're asking for. It's just that little bit of extra awareness of your own accountability in these situations. I can, I try to, I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I think you can feel that you're stepping into a very important era of your life. I don't think I need to tell you that you are on a fast track right now. It's just that your self-love is deepening to the point where you can be really super honest with yourself. And that is so beautiful. And that is what is bringing in these new beginnings. That is what's ensuring that you don't continue to attract these heartbreaking experiences. Ah! This is so good. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support. My subscriber count has been blowing up, and I'm so grateful for that. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I'm so happy and grateful that you're all here now. And I hope that this message brought you some peace and brought you some confirmation and validation, because we are out here in these healing streets, my friends. And I love you guys so much. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you next time.